Hello, this is JC from Real and Simulated Wars. I am here with Close Combat The Bloody First. Close Combat is back after, a seizable period of time. Not that we didn't have enough Close Combat over the years. As you know, Close Combat is one of the wildest, most successful wargaming franchises ever. It was originally released in 1996, I do believe. I don't know, I joined it with the third install, which was the Russian front. In general, it was a great war game. It was revolutionary. It got rid of the Axis. It was real time. You had to take care of real, not real people, but people with morale that would refuse to carry out their orders, who would break down if the battle stress was too much. And it really shocked everybody because that was not available. There were, in previous war games, either they didn't have these morale systems so well tuned that were pretty much like you can force them to go through. And it also arrived in a time where this new thing of real time arrived, and that's why somehow the real time strategy title stuck with it. I don't get me started with game journalism, because don't get me started. So anyway, it is a very, very successful franchise that now comes with its first 3D. Yes, sir. Right now the environment, the battlefield is in 3D. Gone is the top-down view, although you can access it in this game. And well, this is a game that I like a lot. I like the Close Combat franchise, and I do believe the pinnacle of glory for this war game, when it comes, from my particular point of view, which is, Real and Simulated Wars, was the release in 2013 or 2003, oh my god, I don't recall right now, of Close Combat Marines, which was used by the US Marine Corps as a training tool for small unit leaders. So that's how far this thing could go. And of course, there's also other things that we can comment later. So this is the main interface. The game was released this week, and I'm gonna quickly browse through the contents that you have over here. It is a game where you have campaigns that are basically tactical battles that are linked, and they go back and forth depending on how you do into it. You have basically, you can follow the US 1st Infantry Division through Tunisia, Sicily, and Normandy. There is a lot of contents. There is 11 operations which are listed right here, and it has like 39 battles, something that we rarely see in Close Combat titles. It is really fully and very packed. So as of today, as a way of a preview, I'm gonna show you this custom battle, because hey, this game comes with a mission editor where you drop your troops into a map, and they will do whatever it is asked. It is a meeting engagement, a defense, or something like that. In this case, it's a meeting engagement in the map of Troina in Sicily, in La Sicilia. So I'm gonna play this war game, this scenario, just to show you how the tactical battle, which is the center and the core and the meat and potatoes of this game, how it plays. I am sure that you have played at least one Close Combat. If you didn't, this one is highly recommendable if you keep your expectations reasonable. Here's the map. Here's a brief description of what is happening. The map is kind of oriented north to south. It is pretty thin, 300 meters wide against 700 meters long. You have the Allies deployment area, the Axis deployment area and the no man's land. I told you it's immediate engagement. So let's go into it. And here you have your force selection. And well, this is something that is, if you're not familiar with close combat, you need to know about this because it's pretty cool. And if you are familiar, rest assured it is there. You have the troops roster where you have the different statistics, and if you are playing a campaign, you can follow a guy or a team through its evolution. This is just fantastic. They have different traits like experience, morale, leadership, blah blah blah, and they move forward. They get awarded medals and whatnot. The other day, when was it? I believe Friday, I was playing one of the campaigns, and I had a bazooka team which destroyed the tank. That was glorious. And when it came to the after battle report, and I was, checking through my teams, I could see that they were awarded a medal, and that their experience came up and their morale came up. So, wow, that is not necessarily RPG, but it's a cool touch. And of course, some other war games have followed this tradition. And this close combat engine was doing it since 1996. Go figure, huh? So this is a roster. You have all the forces available, and as you can see, close combat is a very sort of intimate game. Don't expect to run a battalion or anything like that. Each encounter is a platoon-sized affair where you have, well, a platoon plus support units, and you can choose, you can take them out. For instance, if you click here, you see this red arrow indicating that you take it back to the pool, and from here you can bring it over to the main force structure. It is not an armor heavy game. You have tanks, of course. In this case I have two M4s, but they're treated as support units, which makes sense because it's a US infantry division, and well, these support units come in packs of anywhere from 2 to 4. I believe I've seen some scenarios where I had more, but I will have to go and check back. I really don't know right now. I'm gonna leave this pretty much as it is. I have a mortar, and the purpose of this battle is not to be tactical or anything like that. Basically because I suck, and second because I just want to show you and talk about this war game. So these teams over here are extra teams that you can add to different groups. I'm gonna add some meaty bazooka teams. You see, you drag and drop into a specific team, and they go down in their count. And you have the sniper teams, and that's basically it. I cannot assign any more, and without further ado, let's go into the battle. The game loads pretty fast, and we're going to be shown with the map, which you can zoom in and zoom out, and boom, there you go. First thing, I'm sure you have seen this in videos elsewhere, that the map is 3D now. With the camera you can zoom in, zoom out, move to the right, move to the left, etc, etc. You cannot go down too much, which is sometimes a bit of a disappointment, because sometimes you want to see the layout of the terrain. More on that coming in a few minutes, but so far it is very pleasant. I mean, for us who played close combat for years in a 2D world, right now you have it in 3D, and it's really very enjoyable. So here you can see that this is our US deployment area. You have the no man's land, and darker even over there you have the German deployment area. So for this scenario I have 3 objectives which are contested right now: south, center and north. And these objectives are kind of limited to the right flank, because if you pay attention, there is a ridge over there which bisects the map in two. Very typical of Troina. I don't know which part of Troina this is. I'm sure it is not the main town, but these villages right here are bisected by this kind of very steep ridge. So let's say that my main effort is going to be through the right flank, so I'm going to put my units accordingly to achieve such objective. So one thing that I didn't follow that is kind of a good practice for close combat players, it is to take care of the headquarters units. Make sure that you have enough when you I'm sorry I didn't show you. I'm just deploying. To deploy, just drag and drop, and in case of headquarters units, you see their command radius, which is quite limited. It's limited to shouting, I do believe. Keeping headquarters units within range, it is very important, because you know every single team here has a morale rating and whatnot. And the other thing that I wanted to indicate, it is that these teams that you see here, like what is this? This is a oh my god, I cannot say. Well, this is a BAR team, not my favorite gun, to be honest. But you know, the maneuver units, like the rifle units, they are teams. They are fire teams in modern parlance. So I see people that, you know, they are making videos and saying, oh, I have this squad here. It's not a squad, dude. It is a fire team. So right now I am putting them all together so I can have a squad. So this headquarters, team equals squad. Important differentiation. So I'm going to start putting my support units. I have this BAR team, which I mentioned, not my favorite thing to deal with, but I'm gonna be using one nonetheless. And let's start sorting this thing out. I have sharpshooters, which I'm gonna keep as observers mainly. I have this assault team of engineers, and we have the bazooka teams, of which I'm gonna take at least 2. Let's make it 3 because we have so many of them. And of course, the tanks right here, I'm gonna be deploying them in the main road. Kind of boring, but I need the mobility. Then on the left flank is gonna be watch and observe. I'm gonna try to be in contact of enemy troops and be totally kind of kosher about it. We have an extra rifle team right here, which I'm gonna use because we may need the maneuver power. I'm gonna leave the mortar all the way in the back. Bar team. These are the guys that are gonna be holding our left. And yeah, that's sharp. No, what is this? Hold on a second. This is a machine gun team. Yeah, this is a 30 cal. Come with me, baby. You're gonna be needed right here. And let's take a bazooka team to the left flank, and that's basically it. Something that I'm sure you're familiar with from the previous close combats is that when you place a unit and when you give them orders, they tend to snap near cover, which is really very, very good. Even that tree over there, you see, if you put them here, they will snap near the rocks or near that tree, which is pretty convenient. If you're familiar also with close combat, you will see that familiar arc over there. That's a defend arc, which means take best cover and shoot whatever comes on your way. In the case of this left flank, I'm going to select them all. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god. Yeah, I have to do. You can select them by groups, as you can see, and I'm gonna give them an order to ambush, which is take cover and stay kind of hidden. My expectation it is to see the enemy and then try to develop the situation. Right here is gonna be all maneuver, so let's wait and see. Oh, this bazooka team was left. How many do I have on the left? 1, 2. Well, I'm gonna take it to the right flank, and then after you're done with this, please remember to add the ambush option or order, just in case you don't want your troops to be blowing up stuff from the beginning and getting their position discovered. Let's just hit begin, and that's pretty much it. So we have now all the map is clearer. You can see it in full 3D right there, and you will see that the color palette is kind of a bit washed out. People have already indicated that, well, this is Sicily, you know, Sicily at this particular time of the year is a kind of semi-arid place, mainly in the interior. It is near, you know, surrounded by the Mediterranean, but the flora maybe not. But when you go to Normandy, it looks a bit too brownish, too yellowish. People have already complained about that. And for me, it just works fine. Second, let's hit the pause. That's very important too. You can pause the game, and still give orders. As I mentioned, I kind of felt about this, you know, camera being a bit restrictive when it comes to watching the troops in front and whatnot. There is a mod where you can go all the way down, but here comes the caveat. People have indicated, oh my god, my units don't look good enough. Well, again, I'm gonna say this just one more time. This is close combat. It is a genre by itself. I know other games look better, other games look more spiffy, have better effects, better this, better that, but this is not it. This is a game where, you know, you will be enjoying tactical battles at a very intimate level, kind of edge of the knife, using real tactics and with a spiffy morale system. So if you want, you know, beautiful models, just play something else. It's not gonna happen here. So that's the price that you pay for going all the way down. If you keep it unmodded like I have it right here, it's gonna look I don't know, decent. I don't know, I'm just too old to be, you know, into that dance of the pretty things. I honestly just don't care too much about it. It looks very, very nice to my eyes. And the other thing that, you know, not being able to zoom in was a bit not disappointing, but, you know, a bit concerning. It is that the line of sight for these 3D maps is quite elaborate and very intricate. Oh my god, intricate. I cannot speak English this morning. The reason, I don't know what's the reason, but the effect of that, it is that sometimes you think that you can see from one position to the other, and actually you don't. There are many surprises there. Not that it's poorly calculated, but I do believe that our eyes or our perception tends to, you know, just simplify everything. The way to check LOS or line of sight, it is to press the control key and move the cursor around. This is a line of sight from this position right here, and you will see that well, there are some particular things like individual boulders can produce that masking effect. And sometimes when you think like, oh, I'm gonna put a machine gun over there and it's gonna control the entire valley, it does not. Take a look at this and you go all the way up, like I'm talking about this region. From here they cannot see it, and sometimes can lead to some, oh, targeting is bad and this and that, which is a problem, and it's being fixed right now, as I understand, mainly for the armor units. Sometimes they are hitting a hill in front of you and you say, oh, what a bad shot, but it turns out that the other guy is fully turret down, and you're just seeing like a small slice of the other target. So that's can explain that. So be mindful of that, and mod it if you want. So I'm gonna take it off pause. I'm gonna start moving. Giving orders is really very easy. Just click on the unit and go to the place where you want them to go. You will see the figurines right there to pop out, and look at that. That's a beautiful arrow that indicates where the unit is going to be moving through. There is no confusion, and you're less prone to make path errors. Like I'm going to tell this unit to say move here, and while I check shift, I'm going to tell it to move over there, so you can provide different waypoints, which is just freaking great to have, and very, very convenient. Oh, enemy spotted. So I'm gonna pause and see what is going on. We have a mechanized unit somewhere who saw that. Well, you see that little eye over there that indicates that this is a unit that spotted that one. There is something coming through the town already, so let's start moving our units. I'm gonna put that 30 cal right there, and the BAR team, the BAR, it is very convenient in the sense that it is easily transportable and it doesn't have too much restrictions for setting it up. And now we have the left flank fully in contact, and that is pause. That is a half track, and it's kind of hanging there perilously on that ridge, but it's going to town absolutely. So this is a juicy fat target for our tanks, which I'm using merely in the support role, but let's start moving them around. So I'm gonna give them, while in pause, I'm gonna give them the hunt order, which means as soon as you see something, shoot it and stop moving. I like to use my tanks in pairs, and yes sirree. So while I have this here, I'm gonna refresh these units in their for instance this one, so you can see it is in the defend order. I'm gonna give it an ambush order. The same for this one, and the same for the bazooka team. That pesky enemy target is out of sight right now. It's just the nature of the maps. Lines of sight are kind of limited, and which is in tune with the map size itself. Ah, how much I love that team redeployed. Bring some support units. Whoa, there we go. Pause. Here comes the main dish. This tank here has spotted that enemy armor. That is, my friends, a Panzer IV. And, well, yeah. Let me zoom in so you can take a look at the model. You see, it is what it is. It's not like, you know, highly detailed or something like that. This is not a miniatures type of show. But also... you have to be patient with those little oddities in the armor movement, like, you know, it's like kind of a slicing through a house. Sometimes they would go into the house. There's a little peccadillos that myself I let go. You know, there is a lot of calculations, but we have this tank which is hopefully targeting that. And we're going to reinforce that order by doing the fire order. You see there is a complete line of sight between the two tanks, and as you can see by the green marker over there, you see the target symbol in the Panzer IV. It is fully green, indicating that it is targetable and that it is, you know, a valid target. The other thing that I wanted to show you, it is the line of sight. One may have thought that, you know, that tank that I have the cursor on right now, we could have like a bountiful of, you know, plenty line of sight, of area of sight, and actually it does not, as you can see. It is just seeing that tank, and probably is not as much as one may think. You see the tank itself near the German. Okay, let's try to do another view of this so you can see it. This is the line of sight tool. You see it's mainly in red, and I wonder sometimes when they have their hulls fully exposed that they are completely green, and right now it's red. And that indicates that, you know, it's not a fully spotted tank. So I'm not gonna cry like a baby when the Sherman tank cannot target this guy very well, if you get my vibe. So let's see how it goes. The other thing, there we go. Already started shooting at each other. If you click on the unit, you will have a description down there saying what is going on, like, you know, these odd things like wrong facing and no weapon, that they have a meaning, but I just don't know what it is. So this other guy is also shooting, but the tank has just retreated, so I'm going to just let it move a bit forward. Using the hunt order, and since we do have armor in contact. Oh, it came through the other side. Let's pause this and let's analyze who is seeing this. Oh, our good friend right here. And let's run the line of sight test again, just to see, because this is an area that has been recognized by the developers. Armor targeting is a bit off and it's being adjusted. While I played the previous beta versions, it was really, it took like from 3 to 4 rounds to hit something and destroy it. Right now it's getting better. So you see, it's kind of still, the hull is completely in red, and let's wait and see. I don't feel very fond of just leaving this tank right there, but for the purpose of science, I just have to show you guys how it works. So it continues to advance. You see the crew is loading, and there we go. They already suffered the casualty. What is it? Yeah, they have an injured man over there. Continue to shoot. Wow, that's mortar. Let's take everybody out of that hellish situation. So first, the infantry team has to move forward. Let's give them fast orders. Those are mortars likely, and you don't want to have your infantry in such a perilous position. And there is some infantry over there, but we're going to develop the situation a bit more. So let's continue with the armor. Under fire. Uh-oh. Who is flaking? Going to move this tank over here. Let me show you the animations for the Germans. They're coming in mass through the right. This is the first time that I see them doing that. So let's use the 30 cal to target them. It's a long distance shot, 200 meters. I'm gonna target that. Let's check the line of sight. Ah, look at this. Let's pause it. And this is what I was talking about. You see that half track on the right has some green areas and some red areas. So it's a partial spotting situation. Let's see if he can take it. Wow, over. The mortar is being merciless. We have some injured people. There it goes. So have to be mindful though. Oh, that's the freaking Panzer IV. At least one of them. Oh. There's a sucker. Come on. I see it from the description here that they're loading. Load faster. Oh, speaking of armor, there is something very convenient, and that is... Well, this guy's giving the wrong facing, so let's just put it out. But you can reverse. If you give a move order that is enough to the back, towards the back, and is short enough, Oh, Jesus Christ, that mortar is... Looks like the Germans really want this shit. Well, I got myself a tank and I didn't see it. I don't know how many runs were exchanged, but that's it. 2 armor units gone. So I'm gonna start supporting my beleaguered infantry, because I'm sure that somebody's spotting this. Uh-oh, tank! Come on, target. I need to bring my command team up there. Pulling them back, you see, it keeps the right facing, which I really like. Let's try another. Now it's aiming and firing. Yeah, go for it, baby. One shot, miss. When Sherman has just shot. There we go. No, no, what the hell are you doing? Uh-oh, no. Pull it back. What is this guy defending against? Oh, the tank is gone. Thank God. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my units in support. And oh my God, just stop. No, my maneuvered units are definitely out. It is just a massacre there. Okay, it is time then to start using our own support. Our mortar team. Yeah, one rifle team. Let's see if we can rally it. I just left my platoon headquarters. All the way down over there. Look at those buildings. They're definitely pummeled. Anyway. Moving towards objective center. Command team is still not there. Oh, the rifle team was not rallied. Now that there is no enemy armor, I have such a relief. And well, I was telling you about the targeting about from the armor units, which was a bit kinky, still being worked out. And you know, in my opinion, what we also had, it was an issue of that line of sight, which was a bit you know, different, and it had to be fully considered by the player, because it's not easy. Sometimes you have faults in terrain and other features that are hiding people. Wow. Caught them in the open. Not good for them. Oh god, they keep pummeling us, which is great gameplay wise, but not for my performance. So inching those tanks forward. Look at that, they're very precise and responsive, the Germans, with their indirect fire. Move fast. So you see the morale indicator for the Germans is going down. We just need to take the north objective, which is the other part of the town. And everything quiet on the left flank. Well, not so quiet. Have some 30 cal, courtesy of the US Infantry Division. Alright, so this scenario is coming to an end. Hope you enjoyed it and you got an idea of what Close Combat: The Bloody First is about. And I am having a lot of fun, and I'm gonna be playing this thing because it just offers that middle ground between, you know, something that is tactically satisfying and you don't have, you know, to suspend your life. Oh, close combat there in the house. And I was mentioning that, you know, you don't need to slice more than 20 minutes to get a very nice game, either by using the campaign or just making yourself in a scenario, or replaying one of the scenarios which are in Canada and you know, available for you from the main version, from the title itself. So I really like it. I do believe that it is a great addition to the series, and well, I don't see myself going back to 2D after this. I haven't used my support units at all. Shame on me. Well, there's gonna be some need to flank because things are getting ugly. Who left? Who left? Uh-huh. Now that we have our tanks, well, the battle has just ended. And oh, one thing that I forgot to show you, it is the key shortcut that gives you a full top-down view. Alright, so very positive about this war game. I really like the content, I really like the 3D. We acknowledge it that, you know, some armor targeting can be used on this, but you know, keep in mind this is close combat and nothing else. So in that spirit, I'm gonna leave you, and if you have a copy, I hope you really enjoy it, and if you don't, I really hope that you make a decision to buy it because it's a lot of fun. So that being said, I'm out. Thank you very much. Leave your comments and questions in the comment section.